In a small village near the mountains, a water bearer worked every day to fetch water for his master. He used a wooden pole to carry 2 large pots, one on each side. One pot was perfect, with no cracks, and always carried all the water. The other pot had a crack, and by the time they reached the master's house, it would be only half full. The cracked pot felt ashamed of itself. It thought, "I'm useless. I can never do my job properly. The other pot is perfect, and I can't compare to it." For 2 years, the water bearer walked the same path from the stream to the master's house. The perfect pot was always proud of itself because it delivered a full pot of water every day. The cracked pot, however, felt like a failure. One morning, the cracked pot finally spoke to the water bearer. "I'm so sorry," it said. "Because of the crack in my side, I leak water all the way home. You work so hard, but I can only give you half the water I'm supposed to. I've failed you." The water bearer stopped, smiled kindly, and said, "Why are you apologizing? Let me show you something on our walk today." As they walked back from the stream, the water bearer said, "Look at your side of the path." The cracked pot looked down and saw something surprising. Along its side of the path, beautiful flowers were blooming. Bright yellow marigolds, cheerful daisies, and tiny wildflowers in every color. The cracked pot noticed that the other side of the path, where the perfect pot was carried, had no flowers at all. When they reached the master's house, the water bearer gently set down the pots and spoke to the cracked pot. "Do you see those flowers on your side of the path?" he asked. "Yes," the pot replied, still confused. "Those flowers are there because of you," the water bearer explained. "I've always known about the crack in your side, so I planted seeds along the path. Every day, as we walked back, you watered them without even knowing it. For 2 years, those flowers have brought beauty to this path and joy to my master's house. Without your crack, this path would be dull, and there would be no flowers to brighten our days." The cracked pot was stunned. It had always thought of itself as broken and useless. But now it realized that its flaw had a purpose. It had been helping flowers grow and bringing happiness to others. From that day, the cracked pot stopped comparing itself to the perfect pot. It no longer felt ashamed of its crack. Instead, it took pride in the flowers it helped nurture along the path. The water bearer, too, appreciated both pots even more. He valued the perfect pot for its strength and reliability and the cracked pot for the beauty it created. This story teaches us that everyone has their own strengths, even if they don't see them at first. What we think are our weaknesses can often make the world better in ways we don't expect. Like the cracked pot, our imperfections can lead to something beautiful. Instead of focusing on what we can't do, we should look for the good we bring to others. Every person is unique, and every flaw has a purpose.